Today I had a Zoom meeting with a friend. She has had an amazing fitness journey. She used to be around 195 pounds and she is now around, her goal weight is 130. She has gone up and down, but she was pretty close to 130 at some point. About the journey, which is so sad that I had the interview. I got to learn a lot from him, but I forgot to record, and so I don't have that Zoom session recorded. But what I can do is that I can share sort of what I have learned from talking to her. She's an emotional eater just like me. So it was really helpful to talk to her. She said when she gets stressed out or anxious or just dealing with personal stuff, she tends to overeat and maybe eat the wrong stuff. And so she mentioned it's not about eating less, but it's about eating like smart, right? So I shared with her that I'm on a journey where I don't have my morning breakfast. Instead, I have a 12 to 14 hour intermittent fasting that I do. And what she mentioned, which I find super helpful, is that she asked me to instead have a heavy breakfast, have carbs. I'm allowed to have carbs for say breakfast or lunch, but not have it during dinner. And what she suggested is that have the heavier meals early on in the day, and then have a light dinner, like have a soup or something like that for dinner. And she said, so it's about eating smart, not eating less, which was a great reminder. I thought I was doing that and that I was doing an intermittent fasting, but what she suggested I think is super helpful, which is not skip the breakfast, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'm doing that especially because I have a busy schedule in the morning. I have to go to office really early, and then I have the kids to get ready and off to school. So it's easy and convenient for me to skip breakfast and have meals later on in the day. But what she suggested was that I should have, a heavier breakfast and heavier lunch and not have a heavy dinner. I like have something light. So what I think I will do is that I'll probably prep my breakfast the night before so that it's easy for me to have a heavy breakfast, like maybe an omelet or have a protein rich breakfast. She also suggested this protein shake she takes, and so she gave me the name for it. I'm going to look it up and buy. I'm going to share that link with you in the description box. The other thing she said she does is that she wears these ankle weights when she's walking. She said that when she walks, it just helps her burn more calories as she is walking with those weights on. So I ordered those ankle weights. And then the other thing she said about emotional eating is that when you're feeling emotional, talking to a friend really helps, and that maybe then you don't feel like eating the sugary stuff. It helps you curb your sugar cravings. So she said when you feel emotional, try to talk to friends, and that helps. So that's one thing. The other thing she told me was that she doesn't have rice anymore. She probably has rice 2 times a month or something like that. And so because she's also Bangladeshi, so she sort of understands my craving for rice and my attachment to rice. And so she said, don't have white rice, don't have white bread, instead have brown rice and brown bread maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna try switching to maybe cauliflower rice or brown rice. And then she also shared this scale, and I have the link for it. I'm gonna attach it to the video that I upload. It was she said it's like very good, like that scale measures your visceral fat, your muscle, your water weight. So this is really good because then I can track what is the part that is not so great for me, and then what I can do to get that down. She said at some point she had visceral fat 12 and now she has it down to 5, which is a big decrease, and she was able to make that change or that improvement through exercise, building muscles. So she continuously lifts weight. She said she does it all at home. So that is really great. Like, if anybody is interested in doing that, they can do it in the comfort of their home and without having to spend the time to go to a gym. I mean, if you do go, it's great. Like, you make friends, like-minded friends who are also on a similar journey. So that is great. But then if you are time constrained in any way, you have some limitation where going to the gym is not as easy. So she said we could do something like that where, she just weight trains at home, and she has this ankle weights, she has this 6-pound weights that she basically does bicep curls and all sort of weight training while she's watching TV. So that was amazing. So I'm gonna order, and she gave me the link for that weighing scale that shows all those metrics for like visceral fat, water weight, and so forth. So I'm going to link that. I'm going to order that. I haven't ordered that yet. One of the challenges that I have is protein, because I'm mostly vegetarian. Growing up, I was vegetarian. I eat eggs, but very rarely I eat meat. It's not that I don't eat meat at all. Like, people have shamed me sometimes. They're like, oh, you eat this, but this is chicken, so how is it that you're vegetarian? But honestly speaking, like, growing up, I never used to eat chicken or beef or any kind of meat, not even fish. But when I came to the US, I found it hard because vegetables back home are prepared in a certain way. I used to really like the taste of it, so I could sustain myself with vegetarian diet. But when I moved to the US, I used to miss something. Like, I used to really crave, like, I was always looking for what kind of food would satiate me, and I sometimes used to find like some kind of ground chicken, something made with ground chicken would maybe be tasty for me. So I used to have those, and so once in a while, very rarely, maybe I'll have chicken, but I would still say that I'm mainly vegetarian. I won't say I'm strictly vegetarian. It's not that I don't eat any kind of meat, and I do eat eggs. So, for some people that's not vegetarian, but in my mind it's still vegetarian. But in any ways, because of that sort of a diet, it's very difficult for me to get protein in my in my diet. And she suggested this protein powder that I can have, so I'm gonna order that and include it in my daily intake. So that's sort of what I got from her. And in terms of emotional eating, when I asked her how you manage that, what she said was that you have friends or people in your life who are toxic and who messes up with your mental stability. You have to cut them out and you have to let them go. We grow out of friendships if that's what's causing anxiety in your life or stress in your life, and if you like that's sabotaging your fitness journey, you have to let people go. Luckily, I haven't had, I don't know, that sort of friends. I feel like I'm always very selective about friends. So whoever I have in my life, I'm so selective. I'm pretty guarded that way. Like, I don't let people in if I get vibe that person is going to bring me down. And I feel like that sort of selection process in my friendships was always there. So I was always very selective about my friends. So I didn't really have that sort of an issue, but I can see it doesn't always have to be friends. Like, it can be some people in your family, some people in your circle somewhere, wherever, that maybe makes these negative remarks or whatever, say something maybe harmlessly. In their mind it's harmless, they don't think it's bad, but it's affecting you mentally, it's shaking you up a little bit. If that's what's going on, then it's better to let those people go, and so that it's easier for you to maintain your stability. And that is another way for you to be eating healthier and remaining healthy. And the other thing she said, which I thought was amazing, which is that be a little forgiving towards yourself. Like, say one day you're emotional, you're going through some crisis, and you overate a lot, and then it's better to not say, oh, you're bad, or like, self criticizing, and you're bad, you did this bad, it was a blah thing that you did, instead of being so harsh on yourself, be gentle on yourself, be kind to yourself, and be like, okay, you were dealing with some crisis, this happened, it's okay, love yourself, and then next time try to make better choices. Have a circle of good friends who lift you up, make you happy, and gets you out of that situation. So for that reason, I thought, I should probably practice that. Sometimes I can get harsh on myself, and the other thing I do is that, oh, I'm bad, I messed this up, and I like kind of lose track, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna do this, it's not gonna happen with me. Sometimes I do that, although I'm getting wiser. I think I'm better now than I used to be in the past. So I am doing a little bit better than I used to be. I think I'm kinder towards myself now, but I need to be more mindful of this, that if I do miss, that I'll be gentle on myself, and then I will basically try to make better choices going forward. So yeah, that is the idea. I'm trying to see what else she may have touched on that I can summarize here. I'm so bummed that I didn't record. I wish I had, I could show you guys our conversation. It was amazing, But in any case, in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys the photos of her before and after, and share all the links. And it's really amazing, what an amazing journey she has had, and she's still on this journey. And like she said, it is never like, oh, you have gotten to this stage and then it's going to be smooth afterwards. It's not like that. There are always ups and downs. Yeah, she gained, she had some sort of a knee injury, and that set her back, and she traveled back to Bangladesh during the winter, December, around that time, and she wasn't walking, and she was eating basically, Bangladeshi food, maybe not her usual diet, and that maybe made her gain a little bit of weight. But she said that if it's within 10 pounds, that she doesn't worry too much. She feels like she can lose those 10 pounds easily, but it takes her a little bit of time. So say if she gains 10 pounds in 3 weeks, it'll probably take her a few months to lose those 10 pounds, but she knows that she can lose that. She has that confidence and the experience to lose those 10 pounds in the next few months. So she said that gaining a little bit, but then it's okay once you have mastered how to lose weight and kind of get in check. Gaining a little bit of weight is not the end of the world. You know how to get back on track, and so it's better to be not harsh on yourself if that happens to you. So that was an amazing conversation I had. I don't know how that happened. I didn't press the record button, and I didn't record the whole session, which is so annoying to me. But anyhow, I'm not gonna be harsh on myself. I still will the links of the scale, the tea that she was talking about, and the ankle weights that she mentioned that I could get, and I ordered those. So yeah, hope this helps. I am again recording this for myself so that I can go back, and if I need to remind myself what kind of a conversation we had, I can watch this over. And like I always say, that I'm doing these videos mostly for myself, but if it helps you in any way, I am very happy. I would love for you to benefit from whatever I'm learning from others that I'm interviewing. So stay tuned.